Rocket Lab. Is the future growth priced in? Let's get right into it. Rocket Lab reported probably what is the strongest quarter ever, and I'm likely saying this for a few quarters now just because they are accelerating. So every quarter is better than the previous one. Revenue in Q1 were 200 million, up 63.5% year over year, and the backlog reached 2.2 billion, up 20% sequentially, quarter over quarter, and more than doubled year over year. And this is very important because the backlog is the closest thing we get to forward visibility, right? Because the backlog is basically the amount of booking that will be slowly and eventually converted to revenue. So it's future revenue. And the backlog to revenue ratio increased again sequentially, and Rocket Lab is sitting now at roughly 11x quarterly revenue in backlog. So this is indicating that most likely revenue will be at least sequentially increasing again over the next 1 or 2 quarters. Peter Beck, the founder and CEO, summarized this well. With the 31 Electron and HAST launches and 5 Neutron contracts combined, we booked more launches in the first 3 months of 2026 than we did for all of the last year. So, launch demand is inflecting. Demand is not the problem. The market is clearly asking for more capacity to Rocket Lab, and this is understandable. So nobody wants only SpaceX, nor the industry or the government or the commercial constellation operators. They want at least a second best after SpaceX to provide capacity. And this is exactly Rocket Lab. Now to Neutron. Neutron is still on track to its first launch toward the end of the year in Q4. And Neutron is, of course, one of the most important pieces of the puzzle because Neutron is not only going to generate revenue, I believe around 6 to 7x revenue per launch more than Electron, but it's also unlocking the next wave of growth for Rocket Lab because as Peter Beck has always been saying, the final goal of Rocket Lab is to launch their own space services, read it as a sort of Starlink or any other kind of services or constellation from space. So this is what it really will give most of the possible monetization and revenue to Rocket Lab, and it will what basically will promote them to the next league. Now, here is where timing matters. Because before to be able to launch their services, to commercialize their space services, Rocket Lab need first to establish Neutron, because Neutron is the rocket that will allow them to launch their constellation and to maintain their constellation. So this means that we are probably in the most optimistic view 3 to 5 years far from having a meaningful revenue generating space service for Rocket Lab. So at the current valuation, the market is not pricing Rocket Lab like a speculative small launch company anymore. It is already pricing a future where Electron continues to grow and maintain a strong cadence. Space systems compound for many years. Gross margins keep expanding. Neutron launches successfully. Neutron scales without major delays. Rocket Lab captures a meaningful share of medium lift demand. Defense and national security demand remain strong, and the company keeps using its balance sheet well for M&A and vertical integration. So, in my view, guys, Rocket Lab is of course still a wonderful company, and I'm sure in 10 years they will be probably one of the 10 biggest company in terms of market cap in the world. I'm pretty confident about this. The problem is that today, basically all the future growth, except probably at least partially future space services, is priced in, right? And as we said, space services will be not revenue generating for years from now. So I see the asymmetry that is a bit lost at this point, and I may decide to trim or even close the position for now moving forward. So I will be sharing in the next video my valuation model for dimensions framework valuation model. So stay tuned, you will get my target prices and all the assumptions that are within the models. I'm currently up 16x on Rocket Lab. No financial advice, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Ciao.